Hello, so now I will be presenting about use case diagram for pet adoption and care system to show that interaction between user and the system based on their role. For the actor, there is three main actor, which is pet parents, admin and veterinarian. For pet parent, the main user who interact with the system to adopt pets or book care service. For admin, the one who manage the system, user account and approval. For veterinarian, is responsible for pet treatment and sending alert. For the pet parents use case, it can perform several actions, which is first, register or login to access the system. Second, view pet profile to find pet available for adoption. Third, book care service like treatment or checkup. Fourth is view reminder, which is include when booking service. 5 is submit feedback after service. And lastly, apply for adoption, which is can trigger admin approval process. For the admin use case, it can manage user account and update service account. Second is manage adoption approval for application from pet parents. Third is add, edit and delete pet profile. Lastly, generate report, which is extend from managing data in the system. For the lastly, veterinarian use case, it can schedule treatment for pets, send alert like reminder, and lastly can also view manage report related to health or service usage. And not to forget the relationship of this use case diagram. They include relationship for action that are always performed as part of another action. For example, view reminder is included in book care service. Second is the extend relationship show optional or conditional action. For example, manage adoption approval only happen when a pet parent apply for adoption. So in summary, this diagram help us understand how different users interact with the system. It also shows that tasks are shared or dependent on other use case, making it easier to design the system functionality. So next, I will be presenting the class diagram of the system, which can show the structure of different classes and how they interact with each other in the system. First, we have user and pet parents. We start with user class. It has basic attribute like name, email, password, and phone number. A user can register, log in, and update their profile. Then we have the pet parents, which is a specific type of user. Pet parents can view pet profile, apply for adoption, book appointment, and submit feedback. Second is admin role. The admin manage user account, update application status, and generate report. They also process adoption application and manage list of pet. Third is veterinarian role. The veterinarian is responsible for managing pet health record, scheduling treatment, and sending alert. For the fourth is pet and service. Each pet has detail like breed, age, medical history, and image. Pet can listed for adoption. Then there's a service class which include treatment type. Each service has a name, description, duration, and price. For the fifth is adoption application. When a user applies to adopt a pet, it creates an adoption application with details like application status, date, and pet involved. The admin can approve or reject this. For the sixth is appointment and notification. Pet parents can book an appointment for service. Appointment has a date, time, and status. Booking an appointment can trigger a notification that send a message to user. Lastly, we have feedback. User can submit feedback with a rating and comment, helping improve the system and service. For summary, this class diagram show how the system support adoption, appointment, service, and user management in a structured way. It helps us understand a relationship between user, admin, vet, and pets they care for.
Hi, I'm Nurlias Mimiti Khalid and I will explain about activity diagram and sequence diagram. This activity diagram represents the overall flow of the appointment booking process from the user's perspective. The process starts when the user accesses the system and logs in using their credential. Once successfully logged in, the user is able to browse and explore the service offered by the system. After choosing a specific service such as healthcare, the user select a preferred date for the appointment. At this stage, the system performs a crucial check to see whether there are still available slots for the date. The daily limit is set at 20 appointments to prevent overbooking. If the number of booking is still below the limit, the system confirms the appointment and update the database with the new entry. However, if the date is already full, the system notifies the user and prompt them to select a different date. This flow helps manage user requests efficiently and ensures the appointment schedule remain organized and controlled. Overall, this diagram makes it easier to understand the step-by-step process from start to finish. The sequence diagram gives us a deeper look into how different components of the system interact during the user's journey. It shows the communication between the user, the system logic, and the database, as well as admin or veterinary functions. The sequence begins with the user registering for the system. At this point, the system checks whether the user already existed to avoid duplicate entries in the user database. If the user is already registered, they can proceed to log in. The system verifies the login credential by querying the database and responds with either a success or failure message. Once the user is successfully logged in, they can explore available services such as adopting pets or booking healthcare appointments. If the user select pet adoption, the system displays the available pets. When the user confirms their choice, the system updates the adoption records and sends a confirmation message. Alternatively, if the user chooses to book a healthcare service, they select a date and a booking or request. The system then checks the database to see if the slot is still available and whether the daily limit has been reached. If everything is in order, the booking is saved in the database and the user receives a confirmation. This diagram is helpful for understanding how different parts of the system work together in a specific order to complete tasks in real time.
Hi, my name is Alia and I would like to present about our system interface. And firstly, I would like to discuss about the sign up and login pages, which is the user can fill in their information and push the button of the submit, and they will bring them to the main pages, which is home page, that we like to build it more user friendly, and such as we put search engine, and then we like to buttons such as veterinary, grooming, adoption and tasks, and below we like to button about homepage, message, notifications, settings and profile, so that they will like easily choose their options in our applications. We also briefly put the browse of the adoption options such as cats and anything that you like to see at the homepage. Next, we like to move to the maps page, which is to helps the adopters, the potential adopters, or the cat parents or pet parents to find their nearest veterinary or nearest the strays, so they can help them in find them more easily. Okay, next we move to the next page, which is first the notification page. It is to build because we notify the users about important matters such as reminders about the appointments, fill in the booking and everything. And then we move to the message, built for easier for the user in discussing about detailing and everything for the two parties, so they can discuss more and communication more about what should they do in the next appointments, everything. And then we move to the pet listing page. This is for the users to browse their listing of the adopting pets, such as in the categories like dogs, pets, cats, rabbits, and anything else, so they can build browse for what they like and what they don't. And then we move to the next page, which is for the pet's profile. After they browse in the listing page, they will likely to go into the pet profile page, and it will shows about the detailing about the pets and with recommendation from the past pet parents and how they meet the pets in like strays and everything, like so the details of information such as the name, the weight, the years of their birth, and everything that important for the adopting process. Additionally, we also add about a button of adopt me, so it will notify to the admin or the pet care houses about the adopting processes. Okay, then we move to the POV of the veterinarian in our pet system. Okay, firstly, we go to the summary page. It will shows about the summary of the pet profiles. So the veterinarian will see through all the pet listing and briefly knows about who will they assign and assist at the next meeting of appointment. And then we'll go to the next page, which is the summary of the veterinary process. And first with the details about the information about the veterinary names and everything, and then we'll go about the information details about the veterinary process, such as the time, dates, and what causes of the problems, and then the buttons of approve and reject. So the veterinarian will choose which is are they really can go to the appointment or really available at that time. So, okay, then we move to the POV of the admin. This page is likely to be more easier for them because in the pet listing pages, it's same with that summary pet listing pages, but it's just different in the save or reject buttons. We put it like more easier for them to save the new information and delete the past information, such as the pets have been adopted, the pets appointments have been done, and everything that necessary in the pages of the pet systems. And then we move to the records page, and then this record page is like to restore all the information, all the data that shows that vaccination, veterinary, grooming, and everything records, and will be described on ups and downs, so it will be useful in future improvements. Okay, next we move to the page of the grooming and appointment form page. This page is important because this will shows all the needed information need to be filled in by the users, such as pet parents, so that all the information will be used for the admin or the veterinarian for the next appointments. So they will fill in all the information and will push the button of submit. Okay, then I will explain why the system need to be interface functionality. Why about that? And firstly, is because this app makes it easier for users to adopt pets, book appointments, and manage the pet cares. And then we add the buttons such as like browse animals, appointments, groomings, and veterinary to help users to access to features quickly. And there are more of us with shortcut buttons such as message, notifications, and Profiles also makes the system more like user-friendly and more organized.
Hello, I'm Amira Patricia. So now I will explain more about the architecture design of our pet adoption and care system. So the system follows a three-tier architecture, which means it divides into three separate layers: the presentation layer, the logic layer, and the data layer. Let's start with the presentation layer. This is what users see when they interact with the system: the web page, form, button, and dashboard. Whether someone is booking a grooming appointment or viewing pet profile, all of that happens here. We built this layer using HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, and JavaScript. It designs to be mobile-friendly, interactive, and user-focused. For example, a user browsing for adoptable pets can use filters like species, size, and location to narrow their search quickly. Next is the logic layer, which is the brain of the system. It's built using PHP, and during the development, we use them as the server environment. The logic layer handles all the rules like checking a pet if it's still available before submitting an adoption form, or preventing users from double booking grooming appointment. We also manage user season, encrypt password, and set reminders. If needed in the future, we can switch to Laravel to make the system more structured and secure. Finally, the data layer is where all information is stored. This includes user data, pet's profile, appointment record, and feedback. We use MySQL to manage this data. For example, when a new pet is registered by the shelter, its info is saved in the pets table, which include age, health history, vaccination status, and photo. Only admin and vets can update this data, while the advertisers can view it. All three layers work together seamlessly. Let's say a user wants to adopt a pet. First, the presentation layer sends the form input to the logic layer. Then, the logic layer verifies the input and updates the database. If successful, the user get the confirmation message and the admin get the notified. Security is also a major priority. We use SSL encryption to protect all data in transit, password hashing to secure credentials, and implement role-based access control so that each user only access relevant parts of the system. Our design also follow Malaysia PDPA guidelines to ensure user personal information is protected. Finally, the system is built to scale. In the future, we plan to develop a mobile app, introduce calendar syncing, real-time chat with shelters, and a smart analytic dashboard for admin. Since each layer is separated, we can upgrade or expand features without affecting the whole system. In conclusion, our architectural design support efficiency, security, and feature growth, which making it ideal for modern animal shelters and pet adoption service.
Hello, my name is Shazana and I will talk about the technology used for our pet adoption and care scheduling system. Firstly is the front-end technology. The use of this core technology is that it handles everything users see and interact with on the platform, such as pages, buttons, forms, and pet listing. The front-end technology is developed using HTML5, CSS3, and JavaScript, which together form the standard technology foundation for building dynamic as well as responsive web interface. For a public-facing platform like a pet adoption system, first impression matters the most. This technology helps create a professional-looking and easy-to-navigate system, encouraging more people to browse and engage with adoptable pets. Next is the back-end technology. This is the logic and database layer of the system. It handles all the business logic, process user requests, manage database operation, and ensure the system operates as intended behind the scene. For this project, PHP was chosen as the primary server-side scripting language, while MySQL served as the relational database management system. PHP would handle the processing like adoption forms and login system, while MySQL stores all the data like pet profiles, user details, medical history, and etc. Shelter must handle sensitive data like adoption record, vet appointment, and others, so the back-end technology must be stable, secure, and efficient. PHP and MySQL offer reliable performance without high costs, making them ideal for small organizations like animal shelters. Next is the system design and modeling tools. The team used visual modeling tools like Figma for interface design and Draw.io for system diagram creation to guarantee a transparent and user-focused design process. Throughout the project planning and analysis stages, these tools were essential. Good UI design improved user experience, making it easier for people to browse pets, book appointments, or get reminders. Also, proper UML modeling ensures the system is well planned and easy to maintain, which is crucial in team projects. Next is development and testing. The team could develop and test system features without depending on the internet connection by simulating a live server environment on their local computers using XAMPP. This was particularly beneficial for testing system functionality at various phases of the agile development cycle and for finding and resolving bugs early in the process. Visual Studio Code, commonly known as VS Code, is a widely used source code editor developed by Microsoft. It supports multiple programming languages and offers features such as syntax highlighting, debugging tools, code auto-completion, and version control integration. It helps the team write clean, structured, and maintainable code across multiple programming languages used in the project. Using XAMPP and VS Code speed up the development and reduce deployment issue. These tools help detect bugs early and improve the quality of the final product. Finally is the notification and security measures. The system must have strong security measures and communication capabilities because of the sensitive nature of the data being handled, which includes adopter information, pet health records, and scheduling details. The technology used for this is first, PHP Mailer to send automatic emails like a reminder or confirmation for the pet owner. After that, it is SSL encryption to protect user data, especially during login or appointment booking. And other than that, it's role-based access control to limit what users can do based on their roles.